We are here to discuss Every Year After. We are in the height of the adaptations. We are living our best summer TV life. We are going to chat about the first 2 episodes. So, spoiler alert, if you're only on episode 1, we're going to talk about 1 and 2. Who would like to begin?
I can. Also, I'm probably going to call it Every Summer After accidentally like 500 times.
I don't understand the
It's called
change.
Every Year After. I think it's because they're going to make more seasons.
But it could still be Every Summer After, even if they did more. Like
I'm in agreement with you. Okay. I don't have a lot of positive things to say.
Oh, no.
I really was excited about this, and I think that my expectations were just like out of control, and like I need to like slow my roll a little bit. I'm a book girly, obviously, all 3 of us are. I felt like the spirit of the book was super summary, best friends. She gets a second mom. She's living her best life because her parents are like very cerebral and like don't really give her the time of day, and she gets like adopted into this other family, and it's like her favorite thing, much like Belly in The Summer I Turned Pretty. Like she lives for the summer, she can't wait to get there and be on the dock with the Florrick boys, and there's just this real like spirit to it that you're like, oh god, I remember those days. Like I remember the friendship bracelets and the sun-kissed skin and the eating the popsicles and the watching the movies at night because you don't have a bedtime and like all of those majestic things. And in the first 2 episodes, I feel like they were like almost there, but like didn't quite get it done. And so for me, I'm like, they really needed to like hit the ground running with this, because like when I was reading that book, I was like, can I please be Percy? Like I would love to be her. And in the first 2 episodes, she's just like kind of a downer. Like I don't want to be her. She seems like mega depressed in the flashbacks and in current day. And I felt like she had a lot more pizzazz to her in the books. And I was just wondering if you guys felt that way too, because I have so many things to say, but like that's what I want to lead with, because Percy is like the girl that we're going to be like following for this whole show and maybe future seasons. And I just feel like they made her kind of blah.
I want to say that I think first we're coming off of 2 impeccably done adaptations in Heated Rivalry and Off Campus. And I think that maybe those 2 have made our expectations. We expect perfection because those 2 shows were perfection, even though there were changes within them. And I think that this, for me, this was more along the lines of like The Idea of You, where I had to really look at it and be like, this is not the book. This is an adaptation that has chosen to like take us in very different directions than the book, and I need to let the book lie in my like brain space as this wonderful thing, and this TV show is a different thing along the same lines, but like a version 2.0. You know, I think I needed to, by the 3rd episode, I was like, okay, I'm letting go of the book. This is the essence of it, but not true adaptation of it, and I need to just be okay with that and enjoy it for what it is. My first initial kind of set me off was when Charlie calls, and on the phone it said Barry's Bay, BC, and I thought to myself, I'm not good with geography, but I know Barry's Bay is not in British Columbia. And then they changed her home from Toronto to Seattle. So then we entered into like a visa issue, and I got so stuck on it. I know that's like silly minutia.
I was wondering if she just lived in Seattle and like that's not where she's supposed to be from. Like she just lives there now.
But like, why did we need to make that change? And yes, I know that's like me maybe having a tism.
15 like there's so many things that I'm like, you didn't need to do that. This isn't enhancing the plot. Why'd you do this to me? Like I feel like the changes that they made so far in episodes 1 and 2, I'm like, you're fucking this up. Like this was so good. You had so much to work with, and like it could be a little massaged, but like you just like rip the rug out from under these plot lines. Like,
Just
I don't
you
know.
wait.
Molly,
So in the
she
first,
hates it. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
There was like a real audible sigh there for a second, and I was like, here we go.
No. The first 2 episodes, there are a couple of montages where Percy, Sam, and Charlie are young and they're running down the dock and they're jumping into the lake like over and over and over again. And in those moments, truly, I almost started crying because I was like, this reminds me of those rituals in my own life when I was young and I looked forward to certain summertime things. And I remember how happy and carefree I felt during those times. Not to be a downer, but like my life now is much more stressful and much harder. And when I was watching that and remembering what it felt like to be obsessed with the summertime rituals, I was like, oh, they're nailing it. Like they're nailing it on that moment when you like get back for the first time and you do the first thing that you look forward to all school year long. And that part of it felt true to the book to me. However, I think the casting of Percy feels very wrong. And not just her look and her mannerisms and her delivery of the lines. You guys know I'm like queen of women supporting women, and what I'm about to say is very unlike me. I find her so unattractive, it's distracting. I'm like, I can't even believe that this is who they would cast in this role based on having anyone they could have wanted for a massive, well-known adaptation, that this is who they chose. And I'm not saying that the character of Percy was meant to be like a glamazon, but this particular actress feels so mischosen to me, and I can't move past it.
You know what I can't get past? Could we not find 2 fucking redheads to cast? We had to hire 2 people that they had to dye their hair. The younger version and adult Percy, both box reds. What? You're joking me. You are not serious. Also, they have Percy wearing these frumpy clothes around town. Like, okay, I shouldn't say frumpy because I would definitely wear the outfits, but like an oversized shirt with like, you know, like embroidery on it and like cut off jean shorts. That's basically like what I'm wearing today. And I'm like, it's been 10 years since you've seen these bitches. Don't you want to look the best you've ever looked? And you show up with this crap. That being said, she also forgot underwear, but like
that was actually a great scene.
Yeah, that was a good scene. But I'm just like, wait a minute, what? And like, why? And how? And also, I'm feeling real old that Alicia Cuthbert is playing the mother.
Except that I loved that casting.
I love her.
Listen,
but she's still Kiefer Sutherland's daughter in 24 to me. You know
we
what
are
I mean?
of an age now where we're going to be the parents in the show. I
Yeah.
think we just have to like get past that.
Yeah, I know. And I do love her. And she looks fabulous.
Mhm.
BT dubs.
Can I just say that I really wanted pierogies the entire time.
Oh my God, yes.
I hear you. Yeah.
Shout out to Veselka, New York City, where we had one of the best meals of our lives
I
together.
might need to get another Gold Belly order soon. Okay, I know that we shouldn't be comparing to Off Campus, but allow me just for the next minute.
Go for it.
So since like my Dawson's Creek days, I've been a soundtrack girly. Like I love the music. I follow music producers like on social media because I think they have the coolest job. And I've got to say, like, one of the things that I loved about Off Campus is that they mixed up and coming artists with like well-knowns, like an Elton John, but then also a Remy Wolf. And right from the go, we're going like hard on Noah Kahan. We're going hard on the Maggie Rogers. Like every single song that has played on this show, I can tell you the title and the artist and how long it's been out. And it probably plays on my office playlists at work. And I'm just like, what are we doing? Like Amazon hit it out of the park. And like, I felt like The Summer I Turned Pretty, another Amazon show, like, yes, they had a ton of Taylor Swift, but then they also would like do other artists that I didn't know as well. And like with this show, it's just like hit after hit. Like I'm not discovering any new tunes. And I hope that changes after, because I've only done the first 2 episodes, but I really hope that changes.
It doesn't.
Oh. Also, let's talk about Charlie Florek for a second.
I wore this today in honor of him because I don't know if you got into the episode where
Do
he's
you
wearing
have
the
it
slutty
all
little knit.
buttoned down? Do you have, how much are you showing? Yeah, I mean, you're
I'm
showing
wearing a
some.
bra
You're
underneath.
showing some. He would show more.
Mhm.
Okay, is he a man whore in the book? 100%. Is he like deceitful and like a little unlikable? No. But in the show, he is. I want to punch him in his jaw already.
I think because we have the benefit of knowing his full story arc because we've read all of her books, I forgive it in the show because I'm like, this is not who you are. You're about to get so much better, and I'm going to let it slide. And we shared from the Plans Are Booked Instagram account, someone made a reel that was like stretching and getting ready to fight all the girlies who have not read the books and think that Charlie Florek is an asshole. And it's true. If this is your only exposure to him, every single thing he's doing seems reprehensible and unforgivable. And especially there is a scene there in as tweens doing Truth or Dare. And Delilah dares Sam to kiss Percy, which is a huge deal because it's not happened. And they're both hesitating, like, oh shit, like, are we actually going to do this? And Charlie, who's putting laundry into the washing machine in the corner, is like, dude, if you won't do it, I'll do it. And I just thought, oh my God, like, they're not helping by even showing all these moments when they were younger where he was doing the antagonizing mean thing.
In the book, he does kiss her, and in the
Yes.
show, he doesn't, which
Yes.
doesn't even match up. They've made him such a mega asshole in the show that he should have kissed her, and then they changed it. And I was like, this is nonsensical.
Yeah.
I
They
don't
also
get it.
They also changed Percy and Sam's first kiss, and I still am not sure why they did that. It didn't. I was expecting like, oh, they've figured out an even better way to do this. That's why it's changed, and I don't think they did. I think the book was meant to be the way it was.
You know who my favorite character is on the whole show?
Jordy.
Duh. I want to take Jordy on a pub crawl, and I want to make some mistakes that I wouldn't regret.
Yeah.
That's all,
Yeah.
that's all I'm saying. He is so cute. He
Yeah.
is so cute. And like, I love the like, I'm a washed up athlete and like, I didn't think I'd be here. But then also, he has like such pride about Barry's Bay. He's like, I'm going to take you for the best ice cream and then I'm going to show you around town because people haven't discovered this yet and it's not ruined. And I'm like, yeah, Jordy, tell her about it. And I love him. And I hope we get so much more of him because Charlie's pissing me off. And I just want to give Percy antidepressants. Like, honestly, like she just seems so distraught. And like one of the notes that I wrote down was I'm a little surprised like how desperate they made her in the show, like from scene one. Like she very much, and Chantal like calls her out on it. She's like, yeah, you've been like the first 5 years after you left Barry's Bay, like you were a complete disaster. And then the last 5 years, you've just been like sleeping around to deal with it. And she's like, I know, I lost the love of my life. And I'm like, okay, could we like seem a little less desperate? Like she just like can't hide it at all. And like, we all know that she did something bad, whether or not you read the book or not. Like it's been hinted at that she like blew it and had to leave. And like, I would like to think that somebody who's like almost 30 would like act a little more suave or like cover it up or like not let that become her entire personality because it seems like other people have like kind of moved on. And I'm just like, wow, you're just like laying it all out there for everybody. And like, it's very clear nobody wants her at the memorial because of the way that she like left things and hasn't talked to anyone. And then she seems kind of like butthurt that they're not like welcoming her with open arms. And I'm like, girl, what are you thinking? Like, it's weird. Also, are they insinuating that her mom's a lesbian with that phone call scene?
That was weird too. It's never explained.
She calls the other woman babe. So I was like,
Right.
wait a minute.
Yeah. So I also, guys, I'm just going to admit this now. When I read Every Summer After, I think I back to back read it with Love and Other Words, which has
Yeah.
a lot of like similar things going on with it. So there was like a moment where I was like, when are they going to show Percy's parents dying? And I was like, that's not this book. That's Love in Other Words. And I goofed it up. Like I ruined my best friends to lovers trope in my head.
I think for me, the thing that I felt was really missing, since I just reread the book this past week in preparation for the show, is in the present moments when she shows up and she's 30, she and Sam immediately have heat between them. Even though there are bad feelings and hurt feelings, there is like this energy between them that I just don't think translated quite onto screen. And without giving things away, in the book, he breaks up with Taylor within that first 24 hours and is like, things haven't been great with us for 6 months. Like I'm not with her anymore because Percy has entered the picture. And I understand that they had to change things in order to like spread this out into 8 episodes, but they should have done it in a way where we still got to see that like pining heat from him. Yes, he is with Taylor, but like obviously he was still very much in love with Percy. And I didn't feel it watching that. I expected to immediately be like, oh my God, can he please just get back together with Percy? And I was almost like, I don't know that either of them really needs to get back together because there's a lot of things that need to be
unpacked. And they made her
here.
an obituary writer, and in the book, isn't she weird. Like a magazine
She's an
editor or something? Yeah. Oh Lord. Yeah. They really made her just seem like a damp cat to me in the show. Sam is such a catch. Like he's such a catch. And like if we're going to have him do the whole thing where he does break up with Taylor to like be back with Percy, even though we all know that she did like an unspeakable thing, I'm like, really? Because Taylor's like a pediatric surgeon and she's like a little hottie with a body, and like Percy is like trudging along. She's literally trudging along. And like, it's just really fascinating to me that they didn't crush it, that they didn't nail it.
I feel like they've made her impossible to root for if you have not read the book. Agreed. Because all you're getting in the TV version is the downtrodden, hopeless, falling apart version. And even in the flashbacks of her early summers with Sam, you're not seeing the magnetism's not the right word, but like the way that their friendship feels like oxygen to the two of them. And you're not getting that in the flashbacks. I will say there is a scene when she very first arrives and Sam and Charlie come over to be like, hey, can you hang? Like, do you want to hang out? That actually felt like the most awkward, like the most accurate representation of awkward tween interactions. And I was like, okay, like maybe we're going to get how they went from fumbling around each other to being best friends. But even in the ways they attempt to show the early years of their friendship, it doesn't have the same magic as it did in the book. And I agree with what you were saying about the lack of heat in the adult reunion between the two of them. We've seen many a show and movie where someone comes back after a time away and it's like,
we love a second chance romance.
The other person cannot function. It scrambles their brain when their old love reappears, which is how this should feel. And it doesn't. And what's interesting is in the second episode, I was more invested in this little outing going on between Geordie and Chantal than I was on anything going on with Percy and Sam. And when they're in that scene that Steph, you were describing earlier about, or Caitlin, about the ice cream, she's like licking the ice cream and she's like moaning. And he goes, do you need a second alone? Like there's a funny exchange between them that has more tension than anything you see with Percy and Sam. I don't know.
It's breaking my heart. It's really bummed me out that it's not sizzling. It should be sizzling. The second you see Belly look at Conrad and they play the Taylor Swift song, sizzle with a capital S from T-Swizzle. And there's nobody is sizzling. There's not one freaking sizzle at all.
I feel like, so we've seen a lot of adaptations in the last 2 years, and I feel like there is such like a disparity between ones that do it so frickin' well and ones that completely miss the mark. And I don't want to like call out any, even though I'm thinking of some in my head right now. But it's so interesting to me who nails it and who doesn't, and how on either end you have fantastic source material. So like how did you manage to miss the mark when you know there's a rabid fan base? You know they're expecting, I mean, I understand like they're not just trying to please the fan base. They're trying to bring in millions of non-readers as well to the project. But I feel like if they stuck with the source material, they would actually do much better than they think. They think they have to like broaden it for any type of audience, but like Molly likes to say, the more niche something is, the more relatable. So stick with the source material, you know?
We need less Delilah on our
I love
screens.
Delilah. Wait,
No, but
her arc.
we need less. I'm not saying that there isn't a time and a place for her to have a little storyline in there, but I don't need her going after the restaurant. I just don't. I don't need that storyline at all.
Just wait. It gets good. She redeems.
And the thing with Charlie, like, okay, I can, that tracks for who he is right now. But I just need like a little less of her. Like I shouldn't see her like as much as all of the Florix and Percy. That's
Also,
just my opinion.
Back to my comment about casting someone as Percy who's not. I feel like Delilah is the like stunning one, and they're giving her so much screen time because of that. And because people who don't know the story need something superficial to grab onto if they don't already know all the backstory. Like we are watching with all the backstory and trying to see how they bring it to life. And as we've been saying, we've seen other adaptations where, in fact, sometimes it even feels better than you thought it could be, or they make changes that make it make more sense for the screen, or you discover new music or whatever the case may be. In this instance, I'm like, these choices are so superficial and feel like just trying to like corral as many new people as humanly possible instead of basing it off of something that's already superb and letting people fall in love with that. And then everyone who didn't read the book, go ahead and order it, just like it's happened with all of these other adaptations. It feels like they broadened the lens way more than it needed to be. And certain characters are being dialed up or down in ways that feel not sincere to the book.
You know what I think might have made it better is if they had actually two separate actors to play each, and they had stuck with the flashbacks are the younger person, regardless of getting up to age 18, and then present day 30-year-olds. I think part of the problem is that we had like little kids up until they're 13, and then we had the same actors playing them from like 14 through 30. And I think maybe if there had actually been younger Percy, present day Percy, there would have been maybe a better distinction between the personalities, and maybe we would have seen past Percy in a different light, which is what we fell in love with as the readers. I don't know. That's just my thought.
I totally agree with you. What I'm about to say and compare it to is not a book adaptation, but I think a show that did that well with different actors is This Is Us, where they committed to people in the teen years and they committed to people in the adult years. And you never forgot who was who. It was very obvious, but you fell in love with both versions, the childhood version and the adult version.
Mm-hmm.
For
and there
sure.
was a distinction.
Correct. A big distinction. Mm-hmm. And for sure, Amazon had the budget to do that here. Like, this cannot be because they couldn't afford to have more hours from a younger actor to commit to someone being the teen version and then someone being the adult version. And I feel like they have to add these text overlays that say like summer 2012 to like remind you like, oh, it's the same actor, but we're going way back now.
Well, the people that they cast in This Is Us looked like the older actors. They like spent a lot of time and probably money making sure that everybody looked like the older version. And that was one of the first notes I wrote down when I was watching last night. And I've got to be honest, I watched episode 1 last night and was so irritated that I didn't watch episode 2 until today. I was like, I need to just like slow my roll. I don't want to go into episode 2 being pissy. And like, I enjoyed episode 2 a little bit more than episode 1, but like, I really feel like Percy has just wrecked it for me, honestly. Like, and I don't even think it's that actress. I think it's the way that they wrote her. I think it's the way that they have her be like so morose and just like limp, like just a limp. Like, I mean, she just seems like she is barely making it day to day. And then she calls her mom and is like sobbing and is like, I shouldn't have come. And then her mom says that the Florks are toxic. And I was like, pardon? When did that happen? And I've been seeing some things online. Like, I'm trying not to read things, but like, there's obviously a lot more plot deviations that occur as the show goes on that I'm not really looking forward to. And yesterday morning, I don't think I sent this to you guys because I didn't want to like give us any preconceived ideas, but the Hollywood Reporter and I like usually agree on things, like when they do like reviews and critics like give their 2 cents or whatever. And I think for Off Campus, they said like, you know, something about like suspending belief and just having fun in like a college atmosphere that like everybody dreamed about being in. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty accurate. Their headline was something along the lines of every year after drowns in its own sorrow. And I was like, okay, so this isn't going to be the fun summer I turn pretty vibe that I was like looking for with the yearning and the wistfulness, but still being hopeful and like all of those things. And I got to say, after the first 2 episodes, I'm like, the Hollywood Reporter might have been right again. I don't know. Listen, if I hadn't read the book, would I be enjoying this? Probably. I think I would probably be enjoying this. But the book, I mean, we've all read every Carly Fortune book. This is her first one. I think it's still her best one. And they somehow are like mucking it up a little bit. And I don't appreciate it.
I just want to say that I am super happy for her that she got to have an adaptation. That is huge. I hope that when they do This Summer Will Be Different, that they up the heat, because if I don't get that mirror scene, then all bets are off. Like if we're going to call this romance, we can't just sort of pan away and like fade to black.
It feels more like a sad family drama than a romance right now. Which is like, I can't even believe I just said that. I mean, I've been waiting months and months for this show to come out. And like, I've told people who haven't read the book, I'm like, you better read the book and be ready because it's going to come out and everybody's going to be talking about it. And like, I don't know if everybody's going to be talking about it at this rate. Yeah. And when I went on Amazon today to hit play on episode 2, it's in the 2nd place spot. Guess who's still numero uno? Off Campus. Why? Because America is trash right now and we're all horny and like we all want to see hot people singing and dancing and drunk and having fun and making great mistakes. And wow, is that not happening on this show? I mean, some mistakes are being made, but like even the Charlie and Delilah stuff, that could have been hotter than it was. Instead, they're like in a weird plumbing damp situation. Like it wasn't even hot. I'm like, how did you make this guy that plays Charlie? They're both so hot and there's nothing hot about it. I was like, what the fuck?
I have to say, we planned to do this. And so I committed to watching a few episodes knowing that we were going to do this. I had zero desire to leave Briar U. And I was like, I'm really happy over here rewatching this other show Into Oblivion. And when I paused to start this, I was like, okay, like, shut off that part of your brain. You're going somewhere totally different where the tone is going to be different. The story is different. Just like chill and realize that it's an apple and an orange. And then I watched the first 3 and I thought, I can't believe these are 3 hours. I could have been watching Garrett Graham and instead I'm watching this. And I am going to finish because I want to see what they do and I want to have, the ability to discuss it with people. However, I feel like I had to hype myself up to get into the mode to hope that it would be strong. And now that it isn't, I'm like, oh my God, I feel like my gut just like knew that this wasn't going to deliver on the same level as this other thing that we've been watching. And to some degree, I think it's unfair to compare this show Every Year After to Off Campus or Heated Rivalry, as we already discussed. Those are perfect,
Very different,
unbelievable adaptations that just stick the landing in every way. And we're still consumers who are out here trying to support things that we think people should be paying attention to. And I wanted this to be good. My gut told me I wasn't going to be happy. And I was sad that that was confirmed. And she, as Steph said, deserves this. And this is such a celebration of, she wrote 5 books in 5 years. Goddamn. Like, she deserves to have all of the ordering of her previous books and all of the premieres and the press events. Like, this is the holy grail of becoming an author, and she's getting to have it. And it's also how I felt about People We Meet on Vacation, where I didn't love the adaptation, but I was like, good for you, Emily Henry. Enjoy every single second of this. You deserve it. Like, I'm more into the victory lap for the author than I am into what actually wound up happening in the adaptation.
Well, so I finished earlier today, the last episode, and thought to myself, I'm probably not going to rewatch this. And we know that I am one of those people who will rewatch. I'm in Maxton Hall. I've watched like 9 times through. And what's interesting is I was thinking to myself, like, maybe it's the content. But then I was thinking about The Summer I Turned Pretty, season 1, which I watched 4 times through in the first week that it was on, which that's a lot of TV. And that also had, spoiler alert, a mother dying and, you know, 2 brothers, different but similar. It had like all the same components, the highs and the lows, but somehow I was willing to press replay so many times on that show. And I don't really have interest in replaying this one at all.
Because there's no sizzle. There's no chemistry. There's no sizzle. It's flat. It's not landing. Like, and then using all these overused songs. I'm like, this feels so forced. Like, this feels like you didn't know what to do.
I wrote down when I watched the first episode, because you mentioned the soundtrack earlier, I wrote down Noah Kahan, Maggie Rogers, Weezer as the first 3 songs. And I thought, whoa, they just went for things that are already
So
mega popular,
uninspired,
so well known. And especially, I realize we have no idea. Well, maybe you guys do, but I have not memorized the order in which this was shot versus when Off Campus was shot. But it feels like Off Campus is having so much success introducing the world to new artists. And if Amazon Studios, if that's their playbook now for these shows, wouldn't they say to the people adapting Every Summer After into Every Year After, hey, one of the things we're really trying to do is bring exposure to new artists. So keep that in mind when you're thinking through your music selection. Like, we will pay for the songs that you want. And it seems like they went for things that we've seen used in so many other shows, movies, television commercials. I love Noah Kahan, no disrespect to him ever. But I heard the first few notes of that song and I went, really?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't need this.
Nope.
And there could have been so many more creative and interesting choices. And it's not just in those first 15 minutes of the first episode. I'm all the way through episode 3 and it continues to be really well-known artists. So
it's like distracting. I'm distracted by it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it. I can't remember the last time I watched a show or a movie where it was like, oh, we're just going to use all #1 hits for the whole soundtrack. Like, that's what we're going to do. And it's like taking away from the scenes because it's not like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I've ever experienced that before, to be honest with you, that they're choosing such popular music. And like with Jenny Han, she made it like a thing, like, ooh, I got 8 Taylor songs for this episode or whatever. But like thematically, the songs really worked. And all the other artists that she used were like all on the newish side. You know what I mean? Like, I discovered a lot of music from that show. I gotta be honest. Like, if this doesn't pick up, do I finish it? I don't even know. Like, I have other things to watch and things to read, and like, I have house guests coming this weekend, and the following weekend, and it's like, maybe I just put on an episode like each night and just like finish it up. But like, I'm not excited to do it. Yep, that's about it.
Any other comments before we wrap it up? Okay, well, listeners, viewers, if you have thoughts, we want to hear them. So please comment with your impressions of the show, what you think about the casting, what you think about the deviations from the source material. We love talking about this stuff with you. Love, capital L, love. So please leave thoughts and comments. We want to hear all of your thoughts. And, you know, we'll just go to Barry's Bay book version in our minds. And we will always have that. We will always have that version that we fell in love with originally. And that is the part that makes me be able to move on from this, that I know it will be preserved perfectly in the OG version. And that still makes me smile and makes me happy, even if this didn't go the way that we thought that it would.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.